Straight ahead on OC News, ASI elections are a day away, so we talk with 4 of the candidates for ASI president and vice president.
And the Zika virus has hit Orange County.
Titan baseball swept Wichita State in an intense 3-game series this past weekend. Welcome to OC News. My name is Christian Vigil.
And I'm Monique Gonzalez.
And OC News is brought to you by the broadcast journalism students at Cal State Fullerton.
It's that time of year again at Cal State Fullerton. The ASI elections is the biggest topic on campus that has students talking, or is it? Reporter Amy Tram has more on this story.
Each year, 2 weeks before spring break, the ASI elections take place. The purpose is to elect representatives to serve on the ASI Board of Directors, as well as the student body president and vice president. The only problem this year is there's a lack of signage on campus, and many students are not aware of the elections taking place, much less how and when to do so. Let's talk to some students.
I've seen maybe like a couple signs around in the dirt, and I think they were holding like they were talking about something over here, but other than that, nothing.
Tell me how important it is for you to know what's going on with your school and how to vote. Is that important?
Yeah, I think so, but I don't really know much about it.
In fact, while walking across the campus to find signage on the ASI elections, our camera crew was only able to find one, which flashed very briefly on an electronic billboard after we stood there waiting for it for 3 to 5 minutes. The ASI elections take place March 15th through 17th. For more information, please visit vote.fullerton.edu.
Now let's take a look at Cal State Fullerton elections for Associated Students Incorporated. Our reporter Elaine Kong is interviewing 3 of the 6 candidates about their platforms and what they hope to achieve once in office. What do you have for us, Elaine?
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Justin Kleizak and Catherine Gwaltney to learn more about their candidacy. Justin, Catherine, how are you guys today?
Great. Thank you for having us.
Of course. So I think the first question I have for you guys is, what makes you guys qualified to run?
Of course, and thank you so much for asking that, Elaine. So Catherine and I have both been active student leaders in housing and also in ASI. These past few years, we've both been student leaders. Catherine has been a resident advisor, and this year I'm serving as the president of the Resident Student Association. We're also both serving on the Titan Student Center's governing board. Now, in our experience working with housing and also ASI, we found that we hold 3 values that we want to further instill into ASI.
These 3 are accessibility, inclusivity, and transparency.
So what are the goals that you guys hope to achieve if you guys do get elected?
So to be more accessible, we want to make sure students feel that they can easily have access to their student leaders. One way of doing this is to hold a formal State of the ASI, kind of like a president holds a State of the Union address yearly. We hope to do that every semester so that students can learn more about ASI straight from the horse's mouth,
right.
and be able to have an open forum and open dialogue with those leaders. To be more inclusive, we want to make sure every student feels celebrated and welcomed here on campus by making sure areas like the Student Recreation Center are welcome to them, and that they feel completely comfortable in those spaces.
With that, though, so how is it now in the Student Recreation Center, and what do you hope to change during that?
Well, being in housing, we've gotten a lot of feedback from female residents that in the Recreation Center, they feel as though that they are on display for the men in the room. The floor plan makes it so that when you're working out, when you're engaging in different workout activities, you're kind of out there in the open for everyone to see. In my experiences with the Student Recreation Center, I have encountered males that have actually, in their taking a break from working out, have stayed there and watched these females working out. And it makes them feel very uncomfortable. They've really delivered that message to us. We want to make sure that all students are feeling welcome and safe inside of our spaces. So we want to make sure that we can create a new floor plan that will make all people that go to the Student Recreation Center feel comfortable and feel as though they are just there working on themselves and not on display for all to see.
Especially since the fees that each student here pays are going towards that facility.
So you're changing the floor plan, but can you explain more to me how the floor plan will help with this plan that you hope to achieve?
Of course. So in the Student Recreation Center, the flooring and the equipment needs to be switched out every few years or so to ensure its safety and to ensure that no issues will pop up randomly.
Right.
Now, we are about to engage in a large-scale changing of the Student Recreation Center, everything from its flooring to the carpeting to many of the cardio workout equipment pieces. We're going to be doing a major swapping out of sorts. So when we do that, we want to take a look at the floor plan now and see the way that equipment is positioned. When somebody is working out, what position are they in? Where are the walkways? What are the other positions of the equipment?
Right.
We want to take a look at all of that and give it more of a safe and private feel to it.
So the next question I have for you is, what other things do you hope to implement if you guys are voted in?
Another thing that we want to do is that we want to do a total overhaul of the ASI website. Because of the Gloria Steinem Act, information that happens in a public meeting needs to be publicly available on a website or in a certain space.
Right.
We want to make sure that our ASI website is reflecting all of that public meeting. We want to make sure that all budgets are available on the website. We want to make sure that the website is completely user-friendly so anyone who has a question about ASI can know where to go. And most importantly, we want to make sure that students are aware of the organizations that are available to them on campus.
So for students that are, living at home that are 20 or 30 miles away and can't come to campus, is that going to help them with their daily life and wanting to look at all that stuff online?
Oh, definitely. There are 38,000 students that go to this school, and we have the privilege of living here in housing, and it's been a phenomenal experience for both of us, but we are completely aware that not everyone has that. This is just one of the first steps in making sure that everyone who comes to this campus feels that there is a place for them to get involved, that ASI is personally holding themselves accountable for making each student part of the Titan community rather than just a passerby at Cal State Fullerton.
Right. Are there any other things that you would like to mention about your candidacy once you guys are elected?
Definitely. So just this last Tuesday, the ASI Board of Directors actually passed a new initiative that's going to make ASI as a whole more inclusive. The way that they're starting with is they're making it mandatory for all student leaders and professional employees to take Title IX, Safe Space, and other diversity-related trainings. But we don't think that the battle ends there. We now want to advocate on behalf of the LGBTQ community to the greater CSUF campus to make it mandatory for all students at Cal State Fullerton to take those diversity-related trainings. So that way all students are better equipped with inclusive and appropriate language and are better able to serve in this community and work together to reach higher.
Titans reach higher.
Thank you, Justin, and thank you, Catherine. Thank you for coming to our studio today. It was great interviewing you.
Of course. Thank you, Elaine.
Thank you so much.
Thank you.
And ASI voting begins tomorrow, March 15th, and goes from March 15th to March 17th. And if you all want to learn more about our platform, check us out at JustCat2016 on Instagram or Facebook, whatever is easiest for you.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Back to you guys in the studio.
Thanks, Elaine. That was a great interview with lots of important information from our ASI president and vice president candidates. Now let's talk to Christian Martinez, who's also running for the spot of ASI president.
Thanks, guys. I'm here with Christian Martinez, another candidate for running for ASI president. Hi, Christian. How are you today?
I'm good. Thank you for asking.
So I'm here to talk to you more about your candidacy and why are you qualified to run?
Yeah, so coming into this campus, I knew I was coming to a commuter school. So I knew spirit was, a big issue and it was lacking. So I joined the ASI street team to, get more students involved and become more spirited around the campus. But even through all our ASI events, we were still struggling to attract a lot of students. So then I wanted to learn more about ASI, so I ran for a governing board, and I became the first alternate, and I became more aware, and I was involved with meetings and understanding the TSU, how the rec was run, how the children's center was run, and then learning about policies and how everything was run. So I really learned about the backgrounds behind ASI and the issues that students face, because ASI leaders get the feedback from students and they bring up all these issues that students find, and we try to fix all those issues. And a big issue still is, like parking and textbooks and just what's it called? Like food still, because I know I've met a lot of homeless students too.
Right.
And that was a big issue to me. And seeing that ASI does allocate a lot of resources because we are such a diverse campus, like the Queer Center, the multicultural centers. It surprises me that we don't have like a food pantry or something for homeless students, a resource for those students who struggle, who we're trying to be, Titans to reach higher, but we're missing another big group of students,
Right. And what do you hope to do if you do get elected for those
If
students?
I do get elected, I do hope to represent the more underrepresented students. Something I've noticed when I was on ASI is how excluded they are. We are supposed to be the voice of the students, yet everywhere I've gone to advocate for my campaign, my main question is, do you know who your ASI leaders are?
Right.
And more than 90% of those students say they don't know.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, here I am trying to get your vote, yet you don't know who we are or what we do. So that's one of my main goals, is to bring awareness, to give students that awareness of why we're here, why we're running for this position, and why we want to make a bigger difference on this campus.
Right. And then if you want to advocate for all those students that, are underrepresented, how do you hope to do that if you are elected?
Something I want to reform is for the ASI leaders to take initiative. We are a big commuter campus, so it's hard to find that support. But as the leaders of this campus, what separates us from being ASI managers and ASI leaders is actually empowering our students, actually putting ourselves out there and understanding the students' needs. We can't just sit behind our offices and here's a piece of paper, fill out the survey, what do you want fixed?
Right.
We have to get to know them. We have to, get out there, go to other organizations, and actually, because it's our job, that's our position. We're taking on the responsibility and taking those issues of the students and trying to make a bigger change by empowering them to help us make this a better campus.
So we do have 39,000 students here on campus, and a large majority of them do commute. So, for those students that are only coming here for school and then going home, how are you going to help them and represent them if they're not involved in anything?
Yes, one of our main marketing ideas that we always try to do is social media. But then again, I always ask the question, how many of you guys actually visit the ASI website? Barely anyone raises their hand, right? But as an educator too, I'm a tutor, I study how people learn. And a lot of students watch, like those funny BuzzFeed videos or like those videos on Facebook. And I really want to create a collaboration with a radio TV film and start making these fun BuzzFeed videos for our campus. And that's something students will watch because our attention spans are so short. We are not going to take the time to read budget reports. We're not going to take time to read, these are the resources available. We want to make videos and actually get their attention for the commuters that are always on their phone, taking the bus or on their phone waiting in traffic, and they'll read all that information through our Facebook.
And so you have a slogan that says, strive for unity and together as a community. So you and your running mate, who is Darren Benton, correct? So how do you guys hope to achieve that when you guys are in office?
Yeah, so something special about Darren actually is that he's a first-year student. And something that makes it so special is that I'm a fourth year and he's a first year, so he can actually advocate for the underclassmen while I try to advocate for the upperclassmen. And we have a big range of students that we can reach out to, since I already have such great connections with all the seniors and juniors, and he can have a better connection with the incoming freshmen. And that's how we can tackle majority of the students on this campus, since our years are such a big gap. But that's never an issue because he's just as qualified as I am to run for this.
Got it. Thank you so much for coming in with us. If you want to vote for this year's election, you can go on vote.fullerton.edu. And that's it for me. I'm Elaine Kong.
Thank you, Elaine, for introducing us to our ASI candidates. From ASI elections to the race for the White House, here is what happened this past weekend. Voters in Florida, Ohio, Illinois, Missouri, and North Carolina get their chance to make their voices heard tomorrow on the presidential race. Since last week's incidents of unrest violence at some campaign rallies, the candidates have all weighed in, but will those incidents impact who voters will choose when they go to the polls tomorrow? Diane Gallagher has a preview of Super Tuesday number 3.
Don't worry, you're not going to get beat up at my rally.
As the candidates make their last-minute pitches to voters in yet another round of Super Tuesday states.
Tomorrow, North Carolina, you have to go out and vote.
It isn't just the stakes that are high, so are tensions. Violence has been documented at a number of Donald Trump events since last year, but it all appeared to boil over this weekend as fights forced Trump to cancel a planned rally in Chicago Friday, and Secret Service prevented a protester from getting near Trump the next day. Republicans and Democrats alike blame Trump and his rhetoric.
I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. If you see somebody getting ready to throw a tomato, knock the crap out of him, would you?
For creating a dangerous atmosphere.
This is a man who in rallies has told his supporters to basically beat up the people who are in the crowd.
Donald Trump is literally inciting violence with his supporters.
Trump saying his campaign is not to blame.
There's no violence.
A Monmouth University poll released today found that, in fact, incidents like what happened in Chicago may actually be helping Trump's numbers. Twice as many Florida primary voters said it made them more likely to support Trump than less likely. And experts say that no matter who is at fault, this is a dangerous precedent.
It's an invitation for someone else to say, hey, look what I can do. I can go out there and I can disrupt his speech, I can cause this chaos and cause all this drama.
In Washington, Diane Gallagher.
House Speaker Paul Ryan, who hasn't endorsed a Republican candidate and typically avoids commenting on the 2016 race, told a Wisconsin radio station on Monday that he found the images from this weekend's Trump events very concerning. Ryan added that he feels candidates need to take responsibility for their environment at their rallies. And Hillary Clinton says she wants to replace coal jobs with clean energy jobs, but she doesn't want to leave coal miners behind. The comments came in Sunday night's CNN Democratic Town Hall in Columbus, Ohio.
I'm the only candidate which has a policy about how to bring economic opportunity using clean renewable energy as the key into coal country, because we're going to put a lot of coal miners and coal companies out of business, right, Tim? And we're going to make it clear that we don't want to forget those people.
Earlier today, Clinton released a statement saying she plans to create a Coal Communities Challenge Fund to protect coal workers' benefits and pensions, all while transitioning coal country to clean energy industries.
After the break, we'll see if the rain is here to stay or do we have some sunshine in our weather forecast.
And coming up in health news, we have some important news on the Zika virus and daylight saving times you don't want to miss. Stay tuned.
Sweetheart, think about your future. Jeff over there did, and just look at him. He saved up, bought a house, he's got a beautiful wife, they even had a fancy pants destination wedding, and oh, they had a baby! Ah! Smart and handsome, ooh la la. Now, I've been saving these frames for pictures of my future grandbabies for years, and the shopping sprees on organic clothing and telephone cases is not helping you save for a family. Oh, gracious! Look at that! He's a model! I bet you he's putting all that money right into a 401k or his baby's college fund. And his teeth are so straight. See how good saving can look at feedthepig.org. Feed the pig.
Last week was filled with rain, but will we continue to be seeing gloomy skies? Miranda Alsheim has all of your weather details.
Thank you, Christian. Today has been quite a chilly day with a heavy presence of clouds. But before we get into it, look at all of this wonderful snowfall in the Sierras this weekend. This is definitely going to help relieve California's severe drought. But instead, today in Fullerton, we are currently looking at a temperature of 68 with a low reaching 52 tonight. The wind is blowing at only 4 miles an hour with a humidity of 59%. I don't know about you, but I'm still not fully adjusted to this time change. The sun rose later than usual at 7:01 this morning. But the major change we see is that it stays bright out later in the day with the sun setting at 6:59 today. Are you curious to see if the rain is gone? Let's check out our forecast for the week. Today was our lowest high of the week of only 70 degrees. We will see bright sunny skies with temperatures in the 80s, Tuesday through Thursday. But Friday we will see a tad bit more clouds rolling through. The lows for the entire week will remain in the lower and mid-50s. Let's see what temperatures the rest of the country is experiencing. Cities up north like Seattle and Boise are currently very cool. On the opposite spectrum, the entire southern portion of the nation is heating up with Texas reaching incredible highs of 89. Back to you guys at the studio. The Zika virus has made its way into Orange County, and daylight savings time may not be good for your health. Here's Luz Ileana with the latest on health.
Thank you, Monique. Stress is something we can all relate to. And in today's health segment, I'm going to give you a few tips for you to release the stress. Juggling with a busy work schedule and life schedule can oftentimes take a toll, but there are a few ways to help maintain a healthy balance. One is to meditate. Taking a few minutes out of your day to meditate could make you more resistant to stress. Find a quiet place, close your eyes, and take a deep breath. Doctors say deep breathing helps to slow down your heart rate and lower your blood pressure. The second one is to present something as simple, taking walks or getting some fresh air. Make you feel less tense. The idea is to slow down and spend time in the moment. The third advice is to listen to music. Research shows listening to something soothing can help you with anxiety. Adding some nature sounds to your playlist is a good place to start. The third and the last advice is moving. You're running or doing yoga. Any form of exercise is a good way to deal with stress, especially if you do it a few times a week. As most of the nation changed their clocks to spring forward an hour for daylight savings time, recent study results suggest losing an hour of sleep may trigger serious health-related issues for some people. Preliminary research out of Finland found the overall rate for stroke to be 8% higher for 2 days following daylight savings time. People with cancer were 25% more likely to experience stroke, according to the study, and people over 65 were 20% more likely to have a stroke. However, the director of the Stroke Center at University Hospital's Case Medical Center in Cleveland pointed out daylight saving time doesn't necessarily cause stroke. Dr. Kathy Silas said it occasionally losing or gaining an hour of sleep was a major stroke risk factor. Then it would happen with regularity with airline passengers flying from coast to coast. Dr. Silas suggested people with breathing relate to sleep issues should discuss their concerns with their physicians. She said risk factors for stroke include the following: high blood pressure, high cholesterol, high blood sugars, if you have diabetes, smoking, being overweight, and not exercising. Moving on, Orange County health officials confirmed the first case of the Zika virus. The Orange County Healthcare Agency says the person infected is a man in his 40s from Costa Mesa who traveled to the Central America, where Zika has been transmitted. That developed symptoms in early February. However, he was never seriously ill, and he had since been recovered. State health officials say they are prepared for the Zika virus and are working with healthcare experts across the nation. And to close with some good news, according to a study called LEAP, Learning Early About Peanut Allergy, infants who eat peanuts within the first 11 months of their life are less likely to develop peanut allergies. Back to you guys.
After the commercial break, Alfredo Sanchez will tell us how Titan baseball fared this weekend against Wichita State.
And coming up in entertainment, find out which movie is holding steady at #1 in the box office. Stay tuned.
Morning, Gary. We are GetSchooled.com. You want a college education, don't you? You know you do. Yeah, but I don't know where to start. That's why we're here. We're free, handsome. I think we're breathtaking. And here to guide you through every step of the way, starting with attendance. Gary, financial aid forms. Biology homework, G. I got this. Is that Bran? Colleges love extracurricular activities. Chess really isn't my thing. I got this. Doesn't matter. Go ahead. Picking a college, man. You and us. We go together like tacos and Tuesday.
And I love tacos.
Fire and ice.
Those don't really go together.
Go to GetSchooled.com for more info.
The NFL has acknowledged something very important regarding safety. Here's Alfredo Sanchez, who has more on this story as well as other news on what's going on in the sports world. Take it away, Alfredo.
Thank you, Christian. We start with breaking news in the NFL. The NFL top safety officer acknowledged today that there is a link between football and brain disease. The admission came during a roundtable concussion convened by the U.S. Representatives Committee on Energy Commerce. Now to Cal State Fullerton sports. The Titans baseball swept the Wichita State Shockers this past weekend. The Titans pitching staff was spectacular, allowing 2 runs over a 3-game series. The Titans improved to 8-6 and hope to keep their winning ways going tomorrow as they face the San Diego State at Goodwin Field. Titans softball also joined the sweeping party at the Louisville Slugger Invitational. They defeated the Iowa State Cyclones and the Mississippi State Bulldogs on back-to-back games on a 1-run margin. The Titans improved to 18-6. Their next game is tomorrow against Yale. On to college hoops, and it's time to go mad because March Madness is here. The pool of 68 teams were determined yesterday, but what drove the NCAA crazy was the fact that the bracket was revealed way before it was announced. Someone leaked the full bracket on Twitter midway through the CBS 2-hour NCAA tournament selection show. The identity of the person that leaked the bracket is unknown. The NCAA is still investigating the situation. Let's move on to pro basketball, shall we? The Clippers have been on a recent funk against playoff teams. They managed to win just 1 game over such a team over a 5-game span. However, they hope to change that with a win against LeBron James and the Cleveland Cavaliers. Hey, there's Mickey shaking hands and having some fun with the Clippers owner, Steve Ballmer. Let's begin in the first quarter. Chris Paul makes a pocket pass to Jeff Green, who then passes it to J.J. Redick. He puts up for 3 and knocks it down. Clippers go up by 10. Now to the second quarter. Channing Frye passes it to a wide-open Kyrie Irving. Kyrie Irving, what does he do? Get buckets. Cavs now lead 37-23. In the third quarter, Irving passes it to LeBron James, who drives it in for the key-size dunk with the chance for 1 more. Later in the quarter, James puts up from downtown. Bang! Cleveland balloons the lead to 25. In the fourth quarter, Irving puts in the finishing touches, hitting the tray from all the way from Hollywood. And King James loves it. Cavs go on to win by a score to 114-90. On the nightcap, it was the Lakers' turn to play at Staples Center. They've been playing better lately, winning 2 of their past 4 games at home. The recent loss came against the Cavs, but looked to rebound against the New York Knicks. This game marks the last time Kobe Bryant and Carmelo Anthony face off each other on the court. Let's move on all the way to the fourth quarter. Lou Williams goes around Larry Nance Jr.'s screen, puts up for 3, and knocks it down. Lakers take the lead 77-76. Then Kobe post up Aaron Flalo goes up for the fadeaway jumper. Yes! And Spike Lee says, yep, I've seen that movie before. However, the Knicks will fight back. Anthony crosses up Nance Jr. and knocks down the tray. The Knicks now lead 86-85. Less than 45 seconds remaining. Williams goes up for the left side and splashes the 18-foot jumper. Lakers take the lead. Later, the game is tied, but the Knicks have the ball. Robin Lopez passes it to Jose Calderon, drives it to the right, goes up for the game-winning 3, and makes it. Calderon says it's just another day in the office, and Spike Lee jumps with this excitement. The Lakers lose 90-83. Kobe ends up with 14 points, while Carmelo goes up for 26. That's it for sports. Back to you guys.
And for the second weekend in a row, this movie has maintained the #1 spot in the box office. And guess who got to meet Celine Dion backstage? Here is Arali with the latest in entertainment news.
Thank you, Monique. Zootopia hit the screen 2 weeks ago. The animated film is still holding on to the #1 spot in the box office, making over $50 million in revenue after 2 weeks. The film is followed by 10 Cloverfield Lane, and in third place is the latest installment of the Marvel Universe, Deadpool, starring Ryan Reynolds. And changing gear to Hollywood's most glamorous celebrities, Selena Gomez and a group of friends attended a Celine Dion concert in Vegas this weekend, and she posted all about it on her Snapchat. As if that weren't enough to get all of us jealous, she also got to meet the singer backstage. Both women looked beautiful. This is it for entertainment. Back to you.
OC Fashion Week kicked off last night in Laguna Beach. Denise De La Cruz takes us to the opening event.
We're at the Dawson Cole Fine Art Gallery for the kickoff event for OC Fashion Week.
Originally founded in 2005, OC Fashion Week has showcased promising and established local talent for 11 years. While OC Fashion Week isn't on the same scope as style capitals such as New York, London, or Paris, it has the potential to be. According to data from the Chapman University Anderson Center for Economic Research, Orange County produces $195 billion in economic output annually, with a third of that coming from retail sales.
At the moment, it's not where it should be, but I do think there's so much talent here. New York Fashion Week, I mean, it is like basically the fashion capital of the world. You have Milan, you have New York. Nothing's gonna compare to them, but I think OC Fashion Week is somewhere getting there. I mean, LA Fashion Week is nowhere near it, and I feel like OC Fashion Week with the designers we're like incubating all that, we're going somewhere great. I mean, we started off small, and now we're up to 4 days, and who knows, maybe next season we could be up to 5 days, and then a week later, a year later, we can have a whole week. So.
Events will take place all over Orange County, from the resort at Pelican Hill in Newport Coast, the Dawson Cole Fine Art Gallery in Laguna Beach, and the Art Institute of California in Santa Ana. Work from 26 fashion designers will be featured, along with the World of Fashion Photography Awards and Fashion for the Future, a student design competition judged by industry insiders.
OC Fashion Week will last from March 13th to March 16th and showcases the most notable talent in Orange County in the fashion realm. From OC Fashion Week, I'm Denise Dela Cruz.
Join us on social media to tell us about important stories you see and other items you would like to see covered on OC News. Social media, you can find us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, all under the handle OC News CSUF.
Well, that's going to do it for us here. Thanks for joining us, and we will see you back here on Wednesday at 5 p.m. for another edition of OC News. Good night, everybody.